Think about it for a moment, a layer 2 that saves you money and it's fast when using the Ethereum network. This is where Polygon comes into play. Polygon is a layer 2 scaling solution on the Ethereum blockchain that allows for speedy transactions and low fees when using the Ethereum network. But what exactly is a layer 2 scaling solution? How does it work? And how does this lead to cheaper transaction costs for the Ethereum users? To find out, first I need to explain what Polygon is, how Polygon works, and what the tokenomics of thematic token are. As a reward, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Polygon was founded originally as Matic Network by Gianty, Sandeep, and Anurag back in 2017, with its mainnet launching in 2020. Matic would rebrand to Polygon in 2021 before completing a merger with ZK Rollup platform Hermes in the same year. As I mentioned, Polygon is a layer 2 scaling solution for EVM-compatible blockchains. But what does that mean? Simply put, a blockchain layer refers to a specific level within the architecture of a blockchain network where different functions and processes occur. For simplicity, today we will just discuss the two layers relevant to us, Layer 1 and Layer 2. Layer 1 is the foundational base, usually the blockchain itself. In our example, this is Ethereum, as it is the base blockchain on which all applications are built on top of. A Layer 2, on the other hand, is an application that is built on top of the Layer 1. In our example, this is Polygon, which was built on the Ethereum network and helps the Ethereum network with a specific purpose. For clarity, the specific purpose Polygon provides Ethereum is to enable scalability by verifying Ethereum transactions off-chain, which ultimately leads to lower network congestion, quicker transaction confirmation times, and lower costs for the end user. Secondly, I mentioned EVM-compatible blockchains. So, to explain quickly, EVM-compatible refers to a blockchain or protocol that can execute smart contracts and deploy decentralized applications to a standard that ensures their compatibility with the Ethereum network. Ultimately, this compatibility allows developers to deploy and interact with Ethereum-based smart contracts and applications on other EVM-compatible blockchains without modifications to their own platform. But how does it all work? As Polygon works on Ethereum, it is a proof-of-stake based platform. Though I have talked about proof-of-stake many times before, if you would like to learn more, you can watch some of the previous videos next. Back on track, if you want a quick metaphor, Polygon can be thought of as using a fast lane on a highway. Metaphorically speaking, Polygon is not a bus that is likely to make many stops between its start and end destination. It is the coupe with a roof down, racing by going from A to B with as few stops as possible. Technically speaking, it's not quite as simple as speeding, and instead, Polygon uses a collection of rollup technologies to achieve this feat. To keep it simple, rollups work by aggregating and processing multiple transactions off-chain before then submitting a single compressed proof of these transactions back to the main blockchain. By verifying multiple transactions at once, it can reduce the workload for the Layer 1 platform, which ultimately means it costs less for users to process a transaction on the network. But what really makes Polygon unique? Polygon is unique because it is not a single product, but rather a whole suite of products such as Polygon POS, Polygon ZK EVM, Polygon Maiden, Polygon ID, and Polygon Zero. To give a quick summary, Polygon Proof of Stake, or POS, is the EVM-compatible proof-of-stake sidechain for Ethereum with high throughput and low costs, as I have already mentioned. It is on this sidechain where Polygon works to bulk process transactions, which saves congestion on the Ethereum mainnet. Next, Polygon ZK EVM is Polygon's Layer 2 network and a scalability solution which utilizes zero-knowledge technology that provides validation and fast finality of off-chain transactions. Through Polygon ZK EVM, developers benefit from the seamless deployment of smart contracts, developer tools, and wallets that already work on Ethereum, but in an environment with significantly lower cost. Moving on, Polygon Maiden is a zero-knowledge rollup for private, high-throughput applications and is a modular execution layer that extends Ethereum's capabilities through specialist features. With Maiden, developers can create novel, high-throughput, privacy-preserving, decentralized applications for DeFi, real-world assets, also known as RWA, and on-chain games. Polygon ID, on the other hand, is a blockchain-based ID for decentralized applications that includes zero-knowledge native protocols for increased user privacy. And finally, Polygon Zero, formerly known as MIR, claims to be the world's fastest ZK scaling technology and up to 100 times faster than any alternative on Ethereum. Now that we know what Polygon is and how it works, let's explore the tokenomics of the MATIC token. In total, there will only ever be 10 billion MATIC tokens, and like most other proof-of-stake cryptocurrencies, can be used for the classics of payments, staking, and governance. Though it is worth noting that Polygon's governance isn't entirely community-led at present, although there are proposed changes to the network to make it more decentralized in governance, meaning this may change. Moving on, of the 10 billion MATIC tokens, the initial distribution looked as follows. 23% was allocated to the ecosystem, 22% went to the foundation, 19% was allocated to the Binance Launchpad, 16% was given to the team, 12% was locked as staking rewards, then 4% was allocated to advisors, and the final 4% was allocated to private investors. Originally, there was a 6-year vested release schedule for these tokens. However, it is worth noting that this vested release schedule started in 2019, meaning all tokens will be available to the market by around mid-2025. Given its age and utility, Polygon is one of the most recognized Layer 2s in crypto. Providing the Ethereum network continues to be one of the world's largest crypto platforms, it seems likely that a platform like Polygon, which enables a better, quicker, and cheaper Ethereum, is also likely to see continued gains. Of course, nothing is ever guaranteed in crypto, and new competitors are always forming. But Polygon has adapted, rebranded, and purchased useful companies along the way to ensure it has the best possible chance of being as important tomorrow as it is today. If you'd like to know how to create a MATIC wallet, check out my article in the description below. And if you like the video on Polygon and you want to learn more about rollups in crypto, click here to watch the video on AltLayer or here to watch the video on Dimension.